Steph Curry's career has been filled with awards, while Chris Paul's, not so much. But today we're swapping their careers, which will give the two the chance to reignite their past rivalry, where one will eventually stand alone as the greatest point guard ever. Starting in the 05-06 NBA season, where Steph Curry's stuck on the bench. But Curry would still have a great rookie season, averaging 15 points a game and finishing second in Rookie of the Year. But Steph Curry would have to wait as the Hornets finished as the 9th seed. But with that bad news, there's good news, as in Curry's second season, he wins the starting point guard spot. And with the increase in minutes, Curry's gonna shoot up to 22 points per game, shooting 44% from 3. All for the Hornets to be the 9th seed again. They had the same record as the 8th seeded Rockets. So in season 3, Curry's still looking for his first playoff appearance, and he's finally the best player on his team. While Chris Paul's also the best player on his team, but he's a freshman at Wake Forest. And surprisingly, Curry's gonna drop to 21 points per game. But on the bright side, the Hornets managed to clinch the 2nd seed. But in the first round, Curry has a tough matchup as they have to go up against T-Mac and Yao. And this series didn't start off too great, with the Rockets stealing the first 2 games on the road. But Steph Curry would lock in, winning 3 straight games to take a 3-2 lead. All for playoff T-Mac to show up and force a game 7. And it looks like the experience of the Rockets was too much, as they're gonna upset the Hornets. And Steph Curry had a no-show. He had 7 points. But Curry would take that heartbreaking loss personally, as he would go on to average 29 points per game in his 4th season. And he's gonna make his first All-NBA team. But the West is just so strong, because even with 46 wins, the Hornets are the 7th seed. But Curry gets a chance at revenge as they get to face the Rockets in the first round again. And the Hornets are somehow up 3-1 in the series. If they can win this game, Steph Curry can win his first playoff series, and David West is gonna get an and one. That is a crazy play to start things off, and he's gonna miss the free throw. And I guess Steph Curry fouled out because they're not gonna put him in the game, but the Rockets are gonna go down low to Yao. He finds Luis Scola to Ron Artest. Ron Artest is gonna find Lowry on the cut. He's stuck in the paint. He might have to go up with the shot, so he doesn't get 3 seconds. He goes up and he makes it. Daniels is gonna find David West, who finds Tyson Chandler. I don't like this matchup. Yao Ming is too tall and he's gonna get the steal. Now on the break, we have T-Mac getting stopped. He's gonna swing it to Artest on the drive. He makes his way into the paint and he's fouled. So now the Rockets can make it a 1-point game here. Ron Artest is gonna make his first free throw and his second one's gonna miss. Let's hope the Hornets can lock in here without Steph Curry. Daniels is gonna find David West and they get the steal again. So now we have Ron Artest on the break. He goes up with the contested layup and ties the game up. This is not looking great for the Hornets at all. They're gonna use the screen. Page is gonna pull the 3 and he knocks it down. Now it's up to Kyle Lowry, T-Mac, and Yao here with 23 seconds to go. They're gonna find Yao for the dunk. And now the Rockets have to foul, so we have Daniels at the free throw line. He's gonna sink the first one, and to put the Hornets up 3, his second free throw's good. The Rockets have no timeouts left. They have 20 seconds to go to make something happen here. Lowry's gonna use this screen from T-Mac. It doesn't get them anywhere. He's gonna find Yao, who runs out to the 3 for some reason. He finds Lowry for the deep 3 and he ties it up. So now for a chance to send the Rockets home, the Hornets have 4 seconds. They're gonna go down low to David West, being guarded by Luis Scola. He's gonna have to force up the layup, and we're going to OT. And with a minute to go in overtime, the Hornets hold a 1-point lead over the Rockets. Lowry's looking for Yao. He's gonna find him for the layup. Oh, he just made an and one. That is not a good way to start the overtime period off, and Yao gives the Rockets a 2-point lead. So the Hornets have a minute to come back here without Curry. They're gonna find David West again. Let's see if he can actually make the shot this time. What is that? That was not the best look on the fast break. Artest finds Scola. They're gonna find Lowry. Lowry's looking for Yao. He's gonna find him. They're gonna send the double team. Please get the stop. They play good defense, but it's not good enough. So now the Hornets have to overcome a 4-point deficit with 30 seconds to go. They're gonna find David West. He's getting pretty clamped up by Luis Scola. He's gonna make the layup though. And now the Hornets have to foul, so we have Ron Artest at the line. His first free throw is somehow good. And to give the Rockets a 4-point lead again, his second free throw also bounces in. So now with 20 seconds to go, the Hornets need to lock in here. Daniels is gonna find David West again. He's really the only option they're going down to. He takes the deep post hook and it's off. So without Curry, the Hornets weren't able to get it done. The Rockets are gonna make it a 3-2 series. And in game 6, the Hornets are down 3 with 2 minutes to go. They actually have Curry in the game though. Lowry's gonna use the screen. He fakes the shot. He finds Chuck Hayes and he's gonna brick the layup. And with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, they're not gonna go to Curry for some reason. Antonio Daniels has to chuck up the mid-range, and Tyson Chandler can't get the board. So now the Hornets are gonna need a stop here. T-Mac's gonna find Lowry. Lowry's gonna go into the post on Steph Curry. He forces up the layup. He's gonna somehow get his own offensive rebound. He's gonna go up with another layup, and he makes it this time. We're gonna need Curry to cook here if he doesn't want the Rockets to force a game 7. I can't believe that just happened. That was an absolutely terrible pass. Now the Hornets are down 5 with not much time on the clock. And okay, they just left Yao Ming wide open. The Rockets are going to go up 7, and they're going to force a game 7. And in game 7, the Hornets are on the verge of a comeback, but they could blow a 3-1 lead, and the Rockets go up 5. That is terrible. Steph Curry is going to need to work some of his magic here. He's going to use the screen. He's going to take the mid-range over Lowry. It's off. And it's going to happen earlier in his career this time, but Steph Curry's team is going to blow a 3-1 lead. But while Curry was entering his 5th season, Chris Paul was entering his rookie season with the Warriors. And he would go on to average 19 points and 10 assists a game, finishing 2nd in the Rookie of the Year race. Meanwhile, Curry just had a career year averaging 33 points, 11 assists per game, and he finished 2nd in MVP. And the worst part is Steph Curry is not even going to win the scoring title because Dwayne Wade went insane. Unfortunately for Chris Paul, he's going to have to wait for his first playoff appearance, but the Hornets were able to clinch the 3 seed. And in the first round, Steph Curry has to guard one of the best point guards in the NBA in Darren Williams. And it took long enough, but Steph Curry's finally going to win his first playoff series. He somehow wasn't even the leading scorer. He still had an amazing game though. And now in the second round, they have to face 99 overall Kobe Bryant. And it's no surprise this series wasn't close at all. The Hornets are going to lose in 5. And that's because even though Curry averaged 27 and 11 in the series, Kobe averaged 36 points a game. He dropped 52 in game 2. But this would inspire Curry, as in the 2010-11 NBA season, he would average 33 and 11 again, all to finish 2nd in the MVP race again. And Chris Paul in his 2nd years on the All-NBA first team, averaging 24 and 11. I didn't even realize that. Chris Paul's going to lead his team to the 8th seed while Curry's the 5th seed. And if both of their teams get upsets, we can see them face off in the second round. Chris Paul's going to lose, but Steph Curry's going to win. But now he has to go up against this overpowered Spurs team. But they might have a chance because Curry averaged 45 and 12 in the first round. If we go game by game, he had a 56-point triple-double in game 1. Game 2, he dropped 51 and 10. Game 3, he had 40 and 18. Game 4, he put up 42 and 16. Oh my, in game 5, he had 49. And in game 6, this is somehow his worst game, 29 and 11. And it's somehow gonna translate to beating the Spurs. They won in 5. And in the second round, Curry slowed down a little bit, but he still averaged 32 and 11. And in the conference finals, they're playing a 7th seed. So they actually have a chance to move on to the NBA finals as the 5th seed. And in game 5, with the series tied at 2, the Hornets blow out the Clippers. They only put up 11 in the 4th quarter. Curry had 50 points and 15 assists. He's absolutely carrying. Let's see if they can make the finals. They were just down 2-1 and they win 3 straight to move on to the finals. And now in the finals, we get to see Steph Curry go up against Derrick Rose. And in game 1, we have a good one. We're all tied up with 2 minutes to go. Derrick Rose is going to use the screen from Joakim Noah. He gets by Curry, but he steps out of bounds. So now Curry has a chance to give the Hornets the lead here. He's going to break Derrick Rose's ankles and he knocks down the jumper. Let's see what Derrick Rose can do on the other end. He's going to pull the 3 over the screen and it's in and out. Now we have Peja on the break. He's going to find Curry. Curry with the behind the back cooks D Rose again, and the Hornets are going to miss the layup. On the bright side, the Bulls aren't going to take advantage of the break there, but Derrick Rose finds Joakim Noah on the roll and we're all tied up. 1 minute to go. Steph Curry, what was that pass? Honestly, I'm not that mad at it, but it was definitely a risky one. Derrick Rose is going to body Curry, and he's fouled on the layup. And Derrick Rose is going to knock down both of his free throws, so that leaves Steph Curry and the Hornets with 1 minute on the clock. He's going to use the screen from Okafor. He gets a wide open 3. It's a deep one, though, and it's off. So now the Hornets need a stop here. I feel like Derrick Rose is going to cook Curry. He's going to find Ronnie Brewer in the paint. He's not going to go up with the layup, though. It looks like they're looking for a better shot here, and with 4 seconds on the shot clock, I don't know if they're going to get a better one. Oh, dang, with the floater, he's going to miss. And now the Hornets get a potential last shot opportunity right here. Steph Curry is going to use the screen from Okafor. They double him on the screen, but Okafor gets left open and makes the N1. So now with 12 seconds to go, he has the most important free throw of his career. That was way off. And that's not great for the Hornets because the Bulls can now get the last shot here with 7 seconds on the shot clock. Derrick Rose is going to wait for the screen from Boozer. He's going to pass out of the 3. Boozer gets a layup, and he makes it with 0.6 on the clock. So the Hornets don't have much time here. They're going to go for a Steph Curry deep 3, and the Hornets lose game 1 of the finals. That was a crazy last shot. Derrick Rose had 32. Curry had a triple-double. He didn't make a single 3, though. But in game 2, the Bulls folded in the 3rd quarter. The Hornets tied the series up at 1. They're only going to win by 7. Curry put up 37 points. And with the series tied at 1, the Hornets are going to run away with the game in the 4th quarter to go up 2-1. 3-1. That was a great second half from them. Curry had 28 points and 14 assists. And this time they held Derrick Rose to just 16 points. And that 2-1 lead's gonna get even better as the Hornets go up 3-1. Curry had 25 points, 15 assists this game. And Steph Curry's 1 win away from his first championship. And in game 5, the Bulls held the lead all game, but the Hornets are coming back. They're outscoring the Bulls by 16 in the fourth quarter. Let's see if they can hold on to this game. Steph Curry's gonna play great defense on Derrick Rose, but his layup goes in anyway. So now down 4, the Hornets have some work to do here. Steph Curry with the half spin finds Peja. Peja's gonna find Trevor Ariza. 8 seconds to go on the shot clock. He's getting clamped up by Kyle Korver. 4 seconds to go. It looks like they're not gonna find Curry. David West, the contested mid-range, it's off. So now it goes back to Derrick Rose. He has hopes of keeping the Bulls alive here. He's gonna drive on Curry yet again and make the layup on him again. So now the Hornets only have a minute to go, down 6. Curry makes his way into the paint, but he's blocked by Boozer. David West is gonna get the clutch rebound, and now he's blocked. And I didn't even realize it's Bulls ball that must have hit off one of the Hornets players. So now Derrick Rose can seal the game. He's gonna find Brewer. Back to Derrick Rose. Hornets are gonna send the double. Derrick Rose is left wide open and he ices the game. The Hornets almost had that one in the bag. Derrick Rose put up 29. Curry only had 16. And good thing for the Hornets, they can still lose another game if they need to. But it's not ideal that we go to a game 7 and we're going to one. David West had 28. Steph Curry had an amazing game. I can't even be mad. And I can't believe they could blow another 3-1 lead. But in game 7, the Hornets are gonna hold on after a terrible second quarter. And just like in real life, Steph Curry's gonna win a championship in his 6th season. But this time, he's gonna be the one walking away with the finals MVP, taking the lead on Chris Paul. But after 6 years in New Orleans, Steph Curry was ready for a change as he would be joining the Los Angeles Clippers. And in his first year with his new team, he's on the All-NBA second team averaging 25 and 11, but Chris Paul's on the All-NBA first team averaging 25 points and 13 assists per game. The only reason neither of them are winning MVP is because of how good LeBron James is. He shot 48% from 3. And it's no surprise that the Clippers are the 1 seed, but the Warriors are nowhere to be found. Wow, they were 1 game out of being in the playoffs. So now Steph has a chance to go back-to-back with 2 different teams, starting off with the Kings. The Clippers aren't gonna sweep, but they make it out in 5. And in the second round, Curry has to face Kobe for the second time. And this time seemed to be way easier as the Clippers win in 6, but now they have to go up against this Grizzlies team who are super deep. But they're no match for the Clippers. They're gonna sweep their way to the finals, and now Steph Curry gets to play the Bulls again. And with the series being tied at 2, the Clippers are gonna blow out the Bulls. They won by almost 30 points, and Curry put up 32 points and 16 assists. But unfortunately for the Clippers, in game 6, they have a terrible third quarter. We're going to a game 7. Blake Griffin was the leading scorer. Steph Curry's nowhere to be found. He didn't even put up 10. He had 9. But this has to be the biggest blowout in a game 7 I've ever seen. Steph Curry's now a 2-time champion, but he's not going to win his second finals MVP. So going into his 8th season, Curry needed to prove that he's the best player on his own team. And he did this by averaging 30 points and 7 assists per game. He's somehow not on the All-NBA first team. And Chris Paul's not going to make an All-NBA team. He's down to 17 points and 9 assists per game. But once again, Steph Curry and Chris Paul have a chance to meet up in the second round, and the Warriors are going to get swept. So now we get Kobe versus Curry in the playoffs for a 3rd time. Once again, the Clippers are going to handle business, but now they have to face an unfamiliar opponent in the OKC Thunder. And the Thunder were giving them trouble because in game 5, I don't think the Clippers are going to be able to come back, and the Thunder take a 3-2 lead. Steph Curry led the team with just 21, and Westbrook and KD both had 36 plus. But Steph Curry's still going for the 3-peat as the Clippers blow out the Thunder to force a game 7. That third quarter was insane. Blake Griffin had 37, Curry put up 34. And in game 7, we got a good one because whoever wins this game moves on to the NBA Finals, and Westbrook throws down the dunk on Curry. That's not a great start. Let's see if Curry can get back at him. He's kind of cooking here. He's gonna break his ankles, and he's gonna knock down the step back. But now Westbrook finds Ibaka wide open. We're back to a 5-point game. Curry's gonna throw it down low to Blake Griffin, trying to score on Kendrick Perkins. He throws down the dunk to make it a 3-point game. But now it's up to Curry to play good defense here. Westbrook's gonna blow right by him, and he puts the Thunder back up 5. Less than a minute to go for Curry here. He's not really making a move on Westbrook. He's gonna get by him at the last second, and we're back to a 3-point game. The Clippers are cooking on offense. All they need is one stop here. Westbrook's gonna find Reggie Jackson. He kicks it to an open KD, and his 3's off. So now the Clippers have their one chance here. Eric Bledsoe finds Curry, and he ties the game up. But now now with a 0.3 second difference between the game clock and the shot clock, it looks like the Thunder are gonna get the last shot here. Westbrook's getting ready for his clutch moment here because whoever wins this game moves on to the finals. And with 6 seconds to go, Westbrook sizing up on Curry. He's gonna kick it to Kevin Martin in the corner and his three's good. So now the Clippers have less than a second to send the game to overtime. Curry's left open and he knocks down the shot. Is Steph Curry a Game 7 hero? He just barely got that off in time. I can't believe they left him so open and we're going into overtime. And with just under 2 minutes to go in overtime, the Clippers hold a 1-point lead. Westbrook on the drive, throws it to Kendrick Perkins and he's blocked. Steph Curry's gonna find Blake Griffin and let him cook, and he throws down the dunk on Ibaka. That is huge. With the Clippers being up 3 now, Westbrook's gonna go into the post on Curry. He makes the easy layup. But the Clippers still have the advantage with a minute to go. Steph Curry looking for Blake Griffin's not gonna find him, and I think that's a turnover. That's not an ideal possession, especially in a Game 7 situation. Westbrook, oh my gosh, Ibaka just got an and one lob. I thought Westbrook would go up with the dunk, and Ibaka's gonna make the free throw to put the Thunder up 2. What a turn of events. The Clippers were looking so good. Now we have Steph Curry finding Blake Griffin. He's gonna attack Ibaka again. He's gonna find Chauncey Billups, who kicks it to Curry, the wing 3, and it's good. So the Clippers retake the lead with just over 30 seconds to go. Kevin Martin's gonna use the screen. It's not a very good one. They're gonna go down low to Westbrook in the post. He drives right past Curry and he puts the Thunder up 1. But now it's all up to Steph Curry right here with a trip to the finals on the line. He's not gonna wait for the last shot. What is he doing? So now the Clippers have to foul. That was a very questionable shot by Steph Curry. The Thunder are gonna go up 2, and with KD's second free throw, they go up 3. And on top of that, the Clippers have no timeouts. They have 15 seconds to hit a 3 here. Steph Curry to DeAndre Jordan, back to Steph Curry. He's just gonna take a 2-pointer. At least he makes it. And now the Clippers have to foul again. This time it's Westbrook at the free throw line. 93% of people who watch me aren't subscribed, so make sure to subscribe to help me hit my goal of 35,000 subscribers. I'm really hoping he can miss his second one here and he knocks it down. So with 5 seconds to go to make it to the finals, Curry's gonna have to pull a half-court 3, and we're going to double overtime. What just happened? I don't think I've ever seen somebody make an actual jump shot from that deep. And now in double overtime, the Clippers are up by 2 with just under 2 minutes to go. Blake Griffin can extend their lead here and he puts them up 4. I still can't believe Steph Curry hit that shot. Russell Westbrook on the drive gets fouled by Curry. Okay, Curry's still back there. At least he didn't foul out. Westbrook's gonna knock down his first free throw, and to make it a 2-point game, his second free throw misses. So the Clippers are up 3 now. Blake Griffin's gonna find Steph Curry the deep 3 with no hesitation, and the Clippers go up 6. That is a huge shot with a minute 20 on the clock. Westbrook gets an easy dunk, but the Clippers still have a 4-point lead. They just need to be smart with the ball. Steph Curry finds Blake Griffin and they go back up 6. So the Thunder only have a minute to go here. Westbrook's gonna find Ibaka. Ibaka with the layup, it's good. And if I were the Clippers, I would chew down the clock here, but they're gonna run another Steph Curry, Blake Griffin pick and roll. Steph Curry's gonna drive by Westbrook and make it a 6-point game. 40 seconds to go. Westbrook on the drive's gonna take the layup on Curry. They're just going back and forth. And now the Thunder are gonna full court press. They're gonna send the double team. Curry throws it to DeAndre Jordan, who recovers it. But now we have DeAndre Jordan of all people at the free throw line. That first one almost goes in, and this is not a good look. His second free throw's up and he bricks it. That was a great foul by the Thunder there. KD's in a drive right by DeAndre Jordan, and just like that, we have a 2-point game. This time, at least it's gonna be Jamal Crawford going to the free throw line. He's gonna make his first one, and to put the Clippers up 4, his second free throw's good. So now the Thunder have 20 seconds to get a big shot. Wait. What just happened? I guess it was an illegal screen because it's Clippers ball. And Steph Curry's gonna knock down both free throws. The Thunder are down 6. They're gonna need a huge shot here. Kevin Martin pulls the deep 3. It's off. And in a double overtime Game 7 thriller, the Clippers are gonna move on to the NBA Finals. That's gotta be the most insane Game 7 I've ever seen. And Curry put up 65. He put up 18 points in the 4th quarter and 21 in overtime. And now in the finals, he's gonna have to face a new opponent in LeBron James and the Miami Heat. And that did not go too well for them. They're gonna get swept. But that would get Curry ready for the upcoming season, as he averages 24 points and 9 assists per game, making the All-NBA 3rd team. And Chris Paul's right there with him, averaging 17 and 10. But once again, Curry gets overshadowed by Blake Griffin, who averaged 28 and 14. Once again, we have the Clippers as the 1 seed and the Warriors as the 5 seed. Let's see if they can meet up in the second round. The Warriors are gonna lose again. So now we get the 4th matchup of Curry versus Kobe. The Clippers are gonna handle business again, and now they get to play the Thunder in the conference finals again. Last time was a generational series. This time the Clippers are going to take the first 2 games. The Thunder are going to blow them out in game 3 though. The Clippers are going to win game 4. They can't win game 5, but they're back in the finals. After getting swept by the Heat last season, let's see if the Clippers can win this time. Hopefully they can win at least one game. They get blown out in game 1. They blow the Heat out in game 2 though. Game 3 they're going to lose by 4. They're going to tie the series up. And with the series all tied up at 2, that amazing second quarter is going to save the Clippers, putting them up 3-2. They played amazing. Steph Curry put up 36. Blake Griffin had a 30-20 game. And DeAndre Jordan almost had a 20-20 game. He had 6 blocks. And in game 6, the Clippers are going to blow out the Heat to win Steph Curry his 3rd championship. But once again, it's going to be Blake Griffin walking away with the finals MVP. But as Steph Curry was winning championships, Chris Paul and the Warriors were on the come up. Chris Paul's going to average 20 points and 10 assists for the Warriors. And for the Clippers, Curry's also on the All-NBA second team, averaging 25 and 9. The Clippers were the 1 seed, and even with the Warriors better, they just weren't as good as in real life with Steph Curry. But for like the 4th time, we can potentially see Chris Paul versus Steph Curry in the second round, and we're finally gonna get it. It took long enough, but it's finally here. It looks like we're not gonna be hopping in game 1 though. This is a crazy blowout. What are the Clippers doing? They just barely put up 100 points. Blake Griffin had 36. Curry didn't even have 20, and it was still a crazy blowout with Chris Paul only having 13. And in game 2, we have a more competitive one. We're all tied up with 2 minutes to go. I don't know why Klay Thompson is going into the post. What is he doing? He's gonna fake out Matt Barnes and go up for the layup. I don't know what that was. But on the fast break, we have Blake Griffin finding Steph Curry for the open layup. He puts the Clippers up 2. Less than 2 minutes to go. Chris Paul's gonna use the screen. He could have had an open 3 right there. Klay Thompson's gonna go back into the post for some reason, but they're gonna kick it back to Chris Paul. He uses the screen from Harrison Barnes and gets an open 3 and knocks it down for the lead. 1.5 minutes to go. Steph Curry uses the screen from DeAndre Jordan and he knocks down a 3 of his own. So the Clippers go up back to, I don't know what Klay is doing. He's just trying to get into the post on JJ Redick. He's getting clamped up. He's gonna go up for the fade though, and he knocks it down to tie the game. At the bottom there, you can see Curry has 27 and 8. Chris Paul has 22 and 10. So they've been going back and forth all game. A win would be huge for either team here. Curry gets an open 3, but he's gonna miss it. So the Warriors can take the lead here. Klay Thompson's gonna stop the fast break. I don't know why he didn't drive there on JJ Redick. He's gonna find Draymond, who goes back to Klay to Harrison Barnes in the corner. He has Chris Paul coming off the screen. He's gonna pass it too late, but Chris Paul finds Klay open, and his 3's in and out. So it looks like this game is gonna come down to the wire. JJ Redick had DeAndre Jordan wide open on the roll. He's gonna find Curry though, who's gonna use the screen from DeAndre Jordan and pull the 3. That's a deep one, and he's gonna miss. So it looks like the Warriors are gonna get the last shot here. They can tie the series up at 1. Chris Paul's gonna chew out the clock. He uses the screen from Bogut. He's gonna throw it down low to Klay. He finds Bogut. Why did DeAndre Jordan go for the steal there? All he had to do was stay on his man. Now with 1.1 on the clock, they're going for a Curry deep 3, and the Clippers tie the series at 1. That was a rough play call. Curry finished with 27. Bogut had 31. That is the last thing I expected, and with the series being tied at 1, the Clippers go up 2-1. So we have another blowout win. Curry dropped 41. Klay Thompson had 30. Chris Paul had 25. Bogut went from dropping 31 to dropping 4. And in game 4, the Clippers are going to take a 3-1 lead. They just won this one by 42. Blake Griffin had almost a 30-20 game. Curry only put up 18. But it doesn't matter because the Clippers are going to make it out of the series in 5. So many blowouts. Blake Griffin had 41. Curry dropped 36. They were cooking this series. And in the 3rd conference finals in a row, they have to face the Thunder. And this time we have a different outcome because with the series tied up at 2, the Thunder take a 3-2 lead. The Clippers low-key started coming back at the end. Curry put up 30 for the Thunder. KD went off. And unfortunately for the Clippers, they're not even going to make the finals this year. The Thunder were just too good for them, and LeBron's going to win the finals. And LeBron's going to continue his dominance. Steph Curry and Chris Paul have yet to win an MVP because of him. But the Warriors are finally good, winning 75 games. And both Curry and Chris Paul are on the All-NBA second team. Chris Paul averaged 28 points and 11 assists a game, and Curry managed to average 33 points and 9 assists a game. And they're both the top 2 seeds in the conference. Hopefully they can meet up in the conference finals. In the first round, the Clippers are having trouble. They're gonna get eliminated. So now's Chris Paul's chance to catch up to Curry. They're gonna beat the Thunder in the second round, and now they have to play a 6-seeded Kings team. I don't know how they're here. And that was too easy for the Warriors. They have to face LeBron in the finals. So with Steph Curry on the team, they blew a 3-1 lead. Let's hope Chris Paul doesn't do that and wins his first championship. Game 1 is all Warriors. The Cavs had a terrible offensive game. They didn't even put up 100, and Chris Paul dropped 35 and 11. And game 2 is also going to be a Warriors blowout. They won by 20, and Chris Paul dropped 36 and 13. Game 3, the Warriors offense was pretty bad until the 3rd quarter. They were low-key starting to come back, but it's not close enough. So the Cavs are finally going to win a game. Harrison Barnes was the leading scorer. And for the Cavs, Kevin Love and LeBron went crazy. Kyrie is nowhere to be found. He dropped 5 points and they won. And in game 4, of course, the Cavs are going to tie the series up at 2. The Warriors had an amazing fourth quarter, but it was way too late. Clay dropped 48, and the Warriors might repeat history here. They're not going to blow a 3-1 lead, but they could blow a 2-0 lead. LeBron's going to use the screen from Kevin Love. He drives right past Harrison Barnes. He's going to pass it to Kevin Love. The layup on Draymond, and he's fouled. So now Kevin Love can put the Cavs up by 3 here. He's going to knock down the first free throw, but his second free throw is going to miss. I thought that was for sure going to go in. The Warriors don't even have Chris Paul in the game, so I'm guessing he fouled out. So now they have Harrison Barnes running the point guard. He's going to use the screen from Draymond, and his three's in and out. That is a huge miss on the break. We have LeBron trying to get past Harrison Barnes. He finds Kyrie. Kyrie kicks it out to J.R. Smith. The 3 over Clay. It's bricked. But Tristan Thompson gets the putback. So now the Warriors are down 4 with just over a minute to go. Harrison Barnes gets past LeBron and throws down the dunk. I did not expect that out of Harrison Barnes. And now we have LeBron attacking Harrison Barnes with the snatchback and the spin layup. He's gonna pass out of it. J.R. Smith is left wide open and the Warriors get the board. And they're gonna go back to Harrison Barnes. He's been cooking so far. This time he's not gonna make it past LeBron. He's gonna use the screen from Bogut though. He gets an open 3 and he sinks it for the lead. He is absolutely cooking, and now it's looking like the Warriors could go up 3-2. Kyrie's gonna kick it out to Kevin Love. He's left with too much space, but he misses anyway. And now on the break, Shaun Livingston finds Harrison Barnes. He's gonna try to get into the paint on J.R. Smith. He's gonna force up the hook, and he misses it. So now the Cavs could get the last shot here with just 21 seconds to go. It looks like they're not gonna go for the last shot though. Kyrie's gonna find LeBron. The Warriors send the double, but LeBron makes the layup over 2 people. But that might have left too much time on the clock for Harrison Barnes and the Warriors. He has been cooking so far, and now with 5 seconds to go, Bogut's gonna come and set the screen. It's kind of late though. Harrison Barnes has to pull the contested 3, and the Cavs go up 3-2. I don't know why Bogut came to set the screen so late. Harrison Barnes was cooking, but now it looks like they could blow a 2-0 lead. But in game 6, the Warriors are having an amazing first half. This one's over, and we're going to a game 7. And once again, it's thanks to Harrison Barnes. And unfortunately, we're not going to get a good game 7. The Cavs are going to blow out the Warriors, and LeBron wins yet another ring. So just like real life, the Warriors had the best regular season record of all time to lose in the finals. But I mean, the Cavs were pretty close in record. And after losing in horrific fashion, the Warriors went out and got someone who you might know by the name of Kevin Durant. And he's going to lead the Warriors to the 1 seed. Chris Paul's going to make the All-NBA third team, averaging 17 and 10. And Curry somehow doesn't even make an All-NBA team, even though he averaged 24 and 7. And I guess this explains why the Clippers didn't even make the playoffs. So as soon as the Warriors get good, the Clippers fall off a cliff. Let's see how far the Warriors can make it with Kevin Durant. They're going to beat the Thunder in the first round, and they lose to the Nuggets in the second round. I thought that would at least make the conference finals pretty easily. And in KD's second year on the team, he's going to win the MVP. That's crazy, because with 1 day to go in the season, Chris Paul was first on the MVP tracker. Chris Paul's not even gonna make the All-NBA first team though, averaging 28 and 11. But Curry saw the Clippers' downward trajectory, and he decided to leave for the Houston Rockets. And Steph Curry's not only gonna make an All-NBA second team, averaging 32 and 8, but he's gonna win the scoring title, as him and Harden are the best 2 scorers in the league. So 1 and 2 are on the same team, which is kind of crazy because 3 and 5 are also on the same team, and 4 and 7 are on the same team. So the NBA's in good hands, with the Warriors being the 2nd seed and the Rockets surprisingly being the 8th seed. The Warriors are going to sweep in the first round. And as for the Rockets, they're going to tie the series up at 2. They can't go up 3-2 though. They're going to force a game 7. And in game 7, the Spurs were just too good. The Rockets get eliminated. And that Spurs defense was really good. Harden shot 9 for 26. Curry shot 8 for 19. And only 3 people on the team had 10 or more. And they lost because a 37-year-old Pau Gasol led the team in scoring. So now after making it out of the first round, the Warriors have to face Anthony Davis and Boogie Cousins, but the rest of the team looks pretty bad. The Warriors take game 1 by 12. They blow them out in game 2. Game 3 is a Pelicans blowout, and the Pelicans tie the series up. But in game 5, the Pelicans had a terrible first quarter that's pretty much going to win the Warriors the game. They're going to win by almost 40. Clay dropped 45. Chris Paul had 37, and KD had 29. And Chris Paul and Draymond both had 16 assists. AD had 33, but Boogie only put up 19. And in game 6, it looks like the Warriors are heading to the conference finals. Chris Paul is going crazy, 36 and 10, and now in the conference finals, they have to play the Spurs. Hopefully KD doesn't get locked up by Kawhi, and KD's been cooking, but so have the Spurs. They're gonna go up 2-0, but the Warriors tie it up. And in game 5, I think the Warriors have this one in the bag. They're up by 4, and it looks like they're gonna win. Chris Paul had 42, Clay and KD both had 24. KD put up a triple-double, and now they're just 1 win away from going back to the finals, but the Spurs force a game 7. Chris Paul and Clay went off, but KD KD had 11 points. And after a terrible game 6 from KD, the Warriors are going to hold on and advance to the finals. And that's because of a 44-point double-double from Chris Paul. KD once again had a terrible game, at least scoring-wise. He's doing good with the triple-double watch, and he filled up the stat sheet, but 14 points? Anyway, in the finals, we have Warriors-Raptors 1 year earlier than in real life. Let's see if Chris Paul can win his first championship. They're going to win game 1. Game 2 goes to the Raptors. Game 3 goes to the Warriors, and the Raptors tie the series up. And in game 5, we have a close one with 2 minutes to go. We're all tied up. Why is he setting a backward screen? What is going on? But now Lowry's going to find DeRozan. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. He waits for the screen from Valanciunas. He's going to pass it down low to him. 3 seconds. And the Raptors are going to go up 2, but Chris Paul's going to find Klay and tie the game back up. I don't know what's up with Klay when we hop into these simulations. It's like he's a slasher and doesn't want to pull threes. He's at least playing good defense, though. We have Siakam finding Lowry. Lowry's going to pick up his dribble. The hezzy. I don't know what he's trying to cook on Chris Paul. He's going to dump it to Valanciunas. 4 seconds to Siakam to Lowry. Lowry's going to have to take the contested jumper, and the Warriors get the stop. And now on the break, Chris Paul finds Klay again, and the Warriors go up 2. So now with less than a minute to go, DeRozan's going to attack Klay. Klay's playing pretty good defense. DeRozan's going to kick it to Lowry. Lowry's going to go back to DeRozan with 5 seconds on the shot clock. DeRozan on the drive, kicks it to Siakam. He has to force up the mid-range, and Zaza gets the board. Things are looking great for the Warriors here. Chris Paul's going to use the screen. He throws it down low to Zaza, and he steps out of bounds. I saw that coming from a mile away. I don't know why he didn't just go up with the layup. Kyle Lowry's going to find DeRozan in the paint. He forces up the layup, and Klay gets the stop. The only bad part is we have Draymond at the line. His first free throw gets a lucky bounce. Let's see if his second free throw will be the same, and it also goes in. So now the Raptors have 11 seconds here. They're going to go to Kyle Lowry in the corner. His three's good. And this time it's going to be Chris Paul going to the line. His first free throw's going to miss, though. That is not good. Can he at least give the Warriors a 2-point lead? He can. On the bright side, the Raptors have 7 seconds with no timeouts. DeRozan bringing up the ball. I don't know what he's cooking. He's going to force up the contested mid-range over Klay, and the Warriors go up 3-2. And in game 6, the Warriors had a great second half, and Chris Paul's finally going to win his first championship. But unfortunately for him, it's going to be KD walking away with the finals MVP. And in KD's last year on the Warriors, Chris Paul's finally going to win an MVP. It makes sense because the Warriors won 70 games. Harden and Curry are both on the All-NBA second team. Curry averaged 30 points and 8 assists a game, but the rest of that Rockets team, I guess they couldn't carry. They're going to finish as the 9th seed. And after an amazing season, the Warriors are having trouble in the second round again. They're going to get eliminated. So after a failed experiment with the Rockets, Curry would leave to join the Oklahoma City Thunder. Meanwhile, with KD gone, Chris Paul has D'Lo as a teammate. Steph Curry's going to make the All-NBA first team now that he gets to take every shot. He averaged 35 points a game. And Chris Paul's on the All-NBA second team. He put up 23 points and 11 assists a game. The Warriors are the 4th seed and the Thunder are the 7th seed, so I don't have too high expectations for either of them. The Thunder are going to lose to the Lakers in 5, and the Warriors might lose to the Blazers. They do in 6. And after just 1 year with the Thunder, Steph Curry's going to join the Suns. Steph's going to make the All-NBA third team, averaging 29 points and 10 assists a game, while Chris Paul's on the All-NBA second team. He averaged 31 a game. He's not going to win the scoring total, though. He was 2 points behind Jason Tatum. The Suns were good enough to clinch the 2nd seed, and the Warriors were not even a play-in team. I mean, I guess that explains why Chris Paul's points per game was so high. They're the 13th seed. In the first round, Steph Curry has to face LeBron. The Suns are going to make it out in 6, so now we get to see De'Aaron Fox go up against Steph, and with the Kings being a 6th seed, I don't think they're going to put up a fight. They're not going to get swept, but they're going to lose in 5. And now the Suns have actual competition as they have to face Jokic. I don't like how this is going to go. The Suns are going to blow out the Nuggets in game 1. They're going to win game 2. That is very surprising. The Nuggets are going to tie the series up, though. And in game 5, the Suns kept it close, but after the first quarter, they played pretty bad. DeAndre Ayton led the team in scoring. Curry only put up 17, and they got cooked by MPJ, Jamal Murray, and Jokic. But with the Suns having an amazing fourth quarter, they're going to be able to force a game 7. And that's thanks to 33 from Steph Curry and Devin Booker. But in game 7, their offense was nowhere to be found. The Suns get eliminated in the conference finals. Yeah, aside from Curry and Booker, nobody even had 10. So that sucks. Steph Curry could have went up against Kevin Durant again, who's going to win the championship. But in his 13th season, Chris Paul's going to win his 2nd MVP. That's the last thing I expected. And Curry's going to make the All-NBA third team, averaging 28 points a game. And we just have a flipped version of last year. The Warriors are the 3 seed, and the Suns didn't even make the play-in. They're the 11th seed. I don't know how that happened. This Warriors team isn't anything crazy on paper. They have to face the Grizzlies in the first round. They're going to beat them in 5. They have to play the Clippers in the second round. And this is a Clippers team with a healthy Kawhi and and Paul George. This might not go well for the Warriors here. The Clippers are going to take game 1. The Warriors blow them out in game 2. They win game 3 by just 3 points. They're somehow going to go up 3-1 and make the conference finals. So now they have to face the Timberwolves led by Cat and Anthony Edwards. And this team doesn't look great for a 1 seed. I mean, they don't look terrible, but they're going to win the first 3 games. And this is not a good look for the Warriors. No way. Are they going to come back down 3-0? They have a chance. But I mean, if you have 50 by the end of the 3rd quarter, don't expect to win. That was absolutely terrible. Jordan Poole had 28 and Chris Paul had 22, but they were the only people to have 10 points or more. Klay Thompson, 3 for 19. And on top of that, Wiggins shot 3 for 10. So that season's down the drain. They actually had a chance to make and win the finals because the Timberwolves beat the Bucks. But after that rough season, the Suns decided to trade for Kevin Durant. And with the addition of KD, Steph Curry's not going to make an All-NBA team. He's all the way down to 22 points per game. And neither is Chris Paul. He averaged 15 points and 9 assists per game. Both the Warriors and the Suns are good though, sitting at the 4 and the 2 seed, but both of them are going to game 7s. In the Warriors game, this one's not close at all. You can't give up 52 points in the first quarter and expect to win. Yeah, they just got cooked by Jokic. And the Suns put up a little bit more of a fight, but they're also going to lose in 7. That's such a sad way to go out, and outside of their big 4, I guess I'm going to include Ayton, their team just falls off in terms of scoring. But now we're in an interesting spot because Steph Curry and Chris Paul are teammates for a season, and neither of them make the All-NBA team. Curry's going to average 27 points a game, while Chris Paul averages 17 points and 9 assists a game. And the Warriors are kind of mid, sitting at the 7th seed. Let's see if they can make it out of the play-in, and they lose 2 games in a row. So Chris Paul and Steph Curry's time together is over just like that, but the Warriors look a lot different with the addition of Jimmy Butler, and Steph Curry's now on the Spurs and teaming up with Wemby. Chris Paul's going to make the All-NBA second team, averaging 27 points and 11 assists a game, and Curry's not going to make an All-NBA team. He's an 87 overall, but he still averaged 24. The Spurs are in the play-in. Let's see if they can make it out. They can, and the Warriors sit at the 5 seed. If they somehow both get upsets in the first round, which they do, they play each other in the second round. I can't believe the Spurs just took down an almost 60-win Thunder team. That makes no sense. Steph Curry put the team on his back, averaging 27, and De'Aaron Fox also averaged 27, with Wemby averaging 25. And now for potentially the last time, we get to see Steph Curry go up against Chris Paul. And no way the Spurs have back-to-back upsets. They're gonna blow the Warriors out in game 1. Steph Curry and Wemby both dropped 27, but in game 2, the Warriors have an amazing 4th quarter to tie the series up. This time Curry had 26, Wemby only put up 14 points, and for the Warriors, Chris Paul had 37 and Jimmy had 36. And in game 3, it's still anyone's series. De'Aaron Fox is gonna pull the 3 and he misses. On the fast break, they're gonna find Pods wide open for 3, and he misses the chance to put the Warriors up 6. And now we have a mismatch here. Wemby's being guarded by Draymond. He's gonna get into the paint easily, and he's fouled on the layup. So now Wemby has a chance to make it a 1-point game here. His first free throw is gonna roll in, and his second free throw is good. So now the Warriors need to lock in here. Draymond's gonna set the screen for a wide open Chris Paul mid-range, and he puts the Warriors up 3. On the other end, the Spurs are gonna run Jeremy Sohan as their point guard. He's gonna pull the 3. I don't know why that was the shot, or why Wemby didn't go up with the layup, but Curry's gonna tie the game up. Passing up a wide open layup for a 3 sounds crazy, but when it's Steph Curry, I can't complain. And now with 40 seconds to go, we have Jimmy Butler attacking Jeremy Sohan. He drops the ball, but he recovers it. He's gonna find Kuminga wide open in the corner, and he misses. So now with 30 seconds to go, we have De'Aaron on the break, trying to drive past Pods, and his layup's good. That was a rough possession for the Warriors. Now Chris Paul's gonna find Jimmy. I don't know if that was a steal or a block, but either way, Curry's gonna go to the free throw line. His first one's good, and to give the Spurs a 4-point lead here, his second free throw's good. So the Warriors have 20 seconds down 4. They have no timeouts. Jimmy bringing up the ball. I don't know why he's taking his sweet time. He's gonna drive on Sohan, the hop step. He kicks it out to Chris Paul. The 3 over Curry's good. And now it's going to be Curry going back to the free throw line. He's going to knock down his first one with ease, and his second one's good. So now the Warriors have 8 seconds here to get a 3 off. Chris Paul bringing up the balls, and to find Jimmy for the deep 3, and he knocks it down to tie the game up. I didn't expect Jimmy to make a 3, especially from that deep. And with 3 seconds to go, the Spurs are going to inbound it to Keldon Johnson. He's going to have to pull the 3 over Kuminga, and we're going to overtime. And after forcing overtime, the Warriors have a 1-point lead with a minute to go. I don't know what Draymond's trying to cook here. He's going to take the layup on Wemby. He's blocked, and Wemby gets the board. At least I think that was a block. I don't know if he barely got a hand on it or what, but Wemby's going to find De'Aaron for the jumper. Sohan gets a clutch offensive rebound, and his putback gives the Spurs the lead. Less than a minute to go for Jimmy and the Warriors. Jimmy driving on Sohan gets stopped. He's going to make his way into the paint. The fake. He ends up going up with the shot, and he's blocked. And now the Spurs are going to go to De'Aaron being guarded by Buddy Hield. He takes the spin layup and puts the Spurs up 3. But the Warriors were just in a similar situation. Let's see if they can pull it off again here. They're just playing hot potato with the ball. I don't know why Draymond is running their point guard right now. What is this offense? They only have 12 seconds to go. Buddy Hield setting the screen for a Draymond corner three, and he knocks it down. I don't know how that worked. The Spurs have 6 seconds here. They're going to go to De'Aaron Fox. He drives by Buddy Hield and finds Curry wide open, but he's going to miss the three. Okay, they shot a full court shot with the timeout. Let's see if that would have mattered. And it didn't, it missed. So I guess it's good they called the timeout there. 1.2 on the clock. Draymond's gonna inbound it for Jimmy, and he's gonna miss the three. We're going to double overtime. So after hitting clutch threes to force overtime and double overtime, the Warriors are in a rough situation here. De'Aaron's gonna get a wide open three, but he bricks it. And the Warriors have to do this all without Chris Paul. I think he fouled out in the first overtime period, but now we have Jimmy attacking Keldon for the layup, and he ties the game up. Now we have Wemby coming to set the screen for De'Aaron. He gets left wide open, but Buddy Hield recovers. Wemby's gonna get the rebound though and make the putback dunk. So now with a minute to go, Jimmy's gonna drive on Jeremy Sohan. He bodies him and he ties the game back up. Less than a minute to go. De'Aaron's gonna size up on Buddy Hield. Let's see if he can take advantage of this mismatch here. He's kind of getting clamped up though. He's gonna kick out of the layup. Jeremy Sohan with 6 seconds on the shot clock. Wemby's gonna come set the last second screen. Sohan has to pull the three and it's in and out. So now with 40 seconds to go, Pods finds Moody, who almost steps out of bounds. He's gonna take the floater and he gives the Warriors the lead. And now with less than 30 seconds to go on the clock, De'Aaron's gonna drive and he ties the game up again. And to take a 2-1 lead in the series, Jimmy's gonna pull the three over Jeremy Sohan. And unless this full court shot goes in, which it doesn't, we're going to triple overtime. And in triple overtime, the Warriors ran out of gas, so the Spurs are going to take a 2-1 lead. That was an insane game. Wemby put up 38 points and 25 boards. He had a 5-by-5 game. Curry put up 31. We're just not going to look at him or De'Aaron Fox's shooting percentage. And for the Warriors, Jimmy had 42. Chris Paul fouled out, but he still had a double-double. And after coming from the play-in, the Spurs could have back-to-back upsets. But in Game 4, even though they started coming back, it was too late. The Warriors win by just 1 point. Chris Paul actually didn't foul out this time. He put up 34 and 8. And for some reason, Jimmy Butler and Chris Paul were forcing up shots when the Spurs should have fouled them. And De'Aaron Fox took a 2 at the buzzer. What is this 2K logic? And once again, we might have another classic on our hands as Draymond gives the Warriors a 2-point lead in Game 5. And this game would be huge because whoever wins takes a 3-2 lead. I don't know why De'Aaron pulled that. And this time around, we have Chris Paul in the game, but not Curry. Jimmy's gonna take the contested layup. What are these shots? I wonder if Curry fouled out. I guess we'll find out once there's a foul. The Spurs are going to go down low to Wemby. He's going to take the fade over Draymond. Why didn't he just back him down? On the fast break, Kuminga's going to find Moody, who finds Jimmy on the cut, and the Warriors go up by 4. This is not looking good for the Spurs, who held a 2-1 lead. De'Aaron's going to lose the ball, but Keldon's going to save the day with that layup. That was incredibly clutch, and now if they can get a stop here, which they just barely do, they can take the lead or tie the game up on this next possession. And Keldon's gonna find De'Aaron wide open. Chris Paul leaves him with too much space, but he misses. So much is happening now with just over 30 seconds to go. They're gonna go down low to Jimmy. De'Aaron, what is that defense? I don't care who wins between these two teams, but I at least want a competitive game. De'Aaron Fox finds Vassell and his threes in and out. And Chris Paul's gonna knock down both free throws, so with the Spurs having no more timeouts, they're gonna go to De'Aaron. Wemby's gonna take the dunk, but they need a foul again. And Chris Paul knocks down both free throws again, so the Spurs are gonna need a 3 here soon. Of course, they go to Jeremy Sohan for one. Wemby's gonna keep them alive. They don't have much time. Sohan pulls another 3. It's off again. And the Warriors are going to take a 3-2 lead. Chris Paul put up 29. Jimmy had 26. And even Buddy Hield put up 22 in just 19 minutes. But this series is not over because with a minute to go in Game 6, the Spurs are up 3 and they have the ball. Curry's going to pull the 3 and it's in and out. That is a huge miss. The Warriors have a chance to tie it or make it a 1-point game here. Jimmy takes the contested jumper for some reason. So now the Spurs have another chance to extend their lead here, but Sohan throws a turnover. I almost never see turnovers on the fast break like that. So now back on offense, Jimmy's gonna take another mid-range. This time it's open and he knocks it down. The Warriors are gonna full court press. I don't know if that's gonna work out for them though. Curry's gonna find Vassell and he knocks down the 3. So now with 21 seconds to go, down 4, the Warriors are gonna go to Jimmy. He's taking his sweet time for some reason. Draymond's gonna come set the screen for him. Jimmy, please do something. He finds Podziemski in the corner and Wemby's gonna grab the board. So unfortunately for the Warriors, we're going to a Game 7. Steph Curry carried, dropping 35, and in Game 7, the Warriors are gonna have a rough first and fourth quarter. They're gonna get upset by a play-in team. They only put up 76 points. Curry dropped 28, and for the Warriors, Chris Paul was the only one to show up. Jimmy only had 10. So the Spurs just went all the way from the play-in to the conference finals. They beat the 1 seed, so anything's possible. Let's see if they can beat this 3rd seed Timberwolves team. And the Spurs are actually putting up a fight. We're all tied up at 2. And the Spurs might actually make the finals. They're gonna blow the Timberwolves out in Game 5. I don't know how they're doing this. They had 3 people drop top 20, including Curry. Wemby almost had a 20-20 game. And outside of Randall and Anthony Edwards, nobody really showed up for the Wolves. Moment of truth, let's see if they move on to the finals, and we're going to game 7. In game 6, Curry dropped 30 for the Timberwolves. Randall had 43 though. And the Spurs had a great run, but they're gonna blow a 3-2 lead and get eliminated in the conference finals. But as we move to the present day, Chris Paul's of course still with the Warriors, and a 41-year-old Steph Curry joins the Clippers again. And about 20 games into the season, the Clippers are 18-3, but we're gonna have to release Steph Curry. That's kind of crazy because he was averaging 28 points per game with them, but we have to release him since they released Chris Paul. And after one day of free agency, he's not there anymore. He ended up getting picked up by the Magic. And lucky for him, the Magic aren't that much worse than the Clippers. They're only 4 games back from them, and they're the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference. Curry in a Magic jersey looks kind of sick, I'm not gonna lie. And for anyone wondering why I didn't just leave him as a free agent like Chris Paul, I made him able to sign to a team just because we don't know where Chris Paul's gonna sign, if anywhere at all. So after signing to the Magic, Curry's not gonna make any All-NBA teams averaging 24 points per game. Meanwhile, Chris Paul makes the All-NBA 2nd team averaging 23 points and 9 assists a game. But the Warriors are super disappointing, sitting at the 9th seed. They're not even gonna make the playoffs. And neither are the Magic. They were the 2nd seed when Curry went there, but they fell to the 11th seed. But now the question is, who's the better point guard? Chris Paul finished his career with about 32,000 career points, while Curry scored more than 46,000. But when it comes to assists, Chris Paul finished 2nd all time, while Curry's right behind him at the number 3 spot. Chris Paul was able to win 2 regular season MVPs, while Curry couldn't win any. But Curry was more successful on a team level, winning 3 rings to Chris Paul's 1, and 1 finals MVP to Chris Paul's 0. Comment who you think had the better career, and if you want to see me put everyone in their prime, including Chris Paul and Steph Curry, click the video on the screen right now.